Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the Honorable Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad. We also welcome the Honorable Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Abdul Hameed Dogar. The Honorable Chief Justice, Honorable Governor request the Honorable Chief Justice of the High Court of Sindh, Mr. Justice Abdul, to kindly please take your seat on the rise. I would request Mr. Justice Dr. Khalid to kindly take his seat. And Mr. Abrar, Chairman of the Economy of Jurists, take his seat. We start our program in the direction of the Holy Quran and request Mr. Abdul to kindly come on the stage and recite a few words. Pakistan's and request Mr. Sadiq to kindly recite from the Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل وسلم.
Pakistan Academy of Jurists is published its 7th book on law, and now I would request Mr. Abrar, the Chairman of the Academy, to come and say a few words about the book.
Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. Dogar, Honorable Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad, Honorable Justice Abdul, Chief Justice of Sindh High Court, Honorable Justice Khalid, Qazi, Judge of Sindh High Court, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court and High Court, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is a common law country. While the legislature legislates laws, our judges interpret the law and say what the law is. Although it is not for the judges to make the law, but in practice, while interpreting the law, sometimes they actually make the law. In deciding controversies and applying the law correctly, rules of interpretation of law are followed, and sometimes judicial application of these rules leads the judges to frame the law. In our daily life before the court, we come across such questions when a word provided by the legislature is interpreted in such a manner that it changes the intent of the legislature. For example, on several occasions the courts have decided that the word may, as legislated by the legislature, will be read as shall, or vice versa, or a sentence will be read disjunctively or conjunctively. Therefore, the judgment rendered by our superior courts become relevant and a must for deciding a case properly. In fact, the so-called rules of law are really no more than generalized descriptions of the judgments rendered in a large number of cases, formulated in an effort to synthesize a variety of cases and reconcile seemingly inconsistent decisions. Even the best statement of rules of law is no more than tentative explanations of past decisions. They afford no sure guide for the future. They represent at most an expert opinion as to how the courts will decide new controversies that may arise thereafter. They are not necessarily right. Their correctness can be tested only by the future course of decisions. The first reason for not concentrating on textual formulations of rules of law is that they are not authoritative. The second reason is similar to the first. Rules of law are constantly changing, and a textbook is always a little out of date by the time it is printed and placed on the library shelf. How to find and where to find the law is the task faced by every legal practitioner in the beginning. There are numerous reports and digests wherefrom law is to be extracted and the relevant judgments are to be traced out. Now this facility is being provided by certain agencies electronically also. However, in my opinion, it is necessary that a student of law during the course of graduation should be provided with sufficient knowledge of conducting research and taking out the judgments in support of particular facts involved in the case. Presently there is a subject under the caption leading cases, but I have noted that cases provided as leading cases pertain mostly to the procedural law and the Constitution. In my opinion, and I take advantage of the presence of our Dean Faculty of Law, Mr. Hasan here, that in LLB course during the entire period of 3 years, the subject how to find and where to find the law should be taught constantly every year to students. I think books such as present one, that is Rendezvous with law, a judge's reflection will be of great assistance to students, lawyers, judges, and the effort made by Mr. Justice Qazi is praiseworthy. I know Mr. Justice Dr. Khalid that Qazi since he started his practice in Karachi in 1980. His commitment to the legal profession is undoubted. His mention of his mentor in absentia, that is the great Qazi-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, shows his patience to follow the footsteps of the great Qaid as a role model. As an author, this is his 4th book, plus more than 80 reported judgments of the High Court and Supreme Court. He was teaching law with me. I was also associated with Hasan Law College he was teaching law for a long time before his elevation as judge of Sindh High Court. I am sure many readers must have seen the book, that they must have gone through the contents of the book. There is, I will be failing in my duty if I don't point out that there is absence of an index and there are certain errors in the proofreading that can be attributed to the publisher. In fact, I have experienced, I have 6 books published. Up till now I know what a tedious job it is to go through the proofreading of the manuscript. I hope that in future editions of the book these deficiencies will be cured. I wish Justice Qazi Khalid Ali every success in his future endeavors and hope that he will continue to write, and we will continue to launch his books from this forum, and I hope that soon we will be having another function for the launching of another. Thank you very much.
I request and invite Mr. Dr. Faroqh Naseem, the educationist, from on the dais and deliver his speech.
The Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Justice Hameed Dogar, His Excellency, the Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad, His Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Sindh High Court, Justice Abdul, Justice Khalid Ali, Judge Qazi, Abrar, Hasan, learned judges, ladies and gentlemen. We gather on this auspicious occasion, and why this occasion is auspicious according to me is because this is a book launch. In Pakistan there is a dearth of legal authorship, and if there is a person who comes forward and writes books in law, it has to be welcomed and encouraged. The title of the book is rather interesting. The title is Rendezvous with Law, Qanun se Mulaqat. And if you read the book and relate it with its title, it will confirm the passion that the author has for law. And I think while writing this book, he has relived this passion. And in doing so, this is an attempt to share his passion with the readers. But before I say much about the book, I would briefly focus on the author himself. Those of us who know him as a lawyer and now as a judge, Justice Khalid Ali Qazi is a gentleman in the real sense of the word. And there is no doubt about this. And I think his disposition is his greatest strength. Coming to the book itself, I will share on the lighter note and a little discussion that I had with Justice Khalid. He said he went to a book launch ceremony of some learned author, and the speakers there spoke so much about the book that by the end of the program he actually knew what the book contained. So he decided not to buy the book. So I don't think I will be committing that mistake. Of course I have read the book, and the book itself confirms the diversified experience of the learned author. As a lawyer, I always found Justice Qazi Khalid Ali, when he was a lawyer, to be a real star. His depth and understanding was second to none. And his legal wisdom, I confirm, is so profound that I am reminded of James Bryce when he spoke about Justice Sir George Jessel, and he said, he possessed a wonderfully quick as well as a powerful mind which got to the kernel of the matter while other people were still hammering at the shell. And that just summarizes our learned author in a nutshell. Justice Khalid Qazi is a very creative judge. He does not believe in technicalities and he is dispensing justice even-handedly. His latest judgment on copyright law is nothing but a masterpiece. The book itself, I am sure and I endorse, will be very useful to students, lawyers and judges. Having said so much, I will take this opportunity to say a few things more. We here in Pakistan are passing through certain defining moments. But then the courts are functioning under the same framework of law as they were doing before. The jurisdiction of the courts is conferred by law and the Constitution, and this jurisdiction is intact. The institutions of the state should not be built upon individual personalities, but should be built upon well-recognized and sound norms and standards. I am reminded of the great constitutional philosopher in constitutional jurisprudence, and his name is Peter Conrad. He once said, and in fact he expounded the defense of continuity, and he stated that continuity in the legal order alone can ensure the survival of the state. Let us work for the country to provide this continuity. No matter what happens, every action should be taken strictly in accordance with law and the requirements of legal continuity. Legal continuity itself, in my humble opinion, is fundamental to the concept of rule of law. I very wholeheartedly congratulate the author. I congratulate Mr. Abrar Hasan for the organization of this function, and I would wholeheartedly encourage Abrar Sahab and ensure all cooperation that I can extend. Thank you.
Now I would request the author of the book Rendezvous with the Law, my Lord Mr. Justice Khalid Qazi, to speak about this book.
My Lord, Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Abdul Dogar, His Excellency Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad, the Honorable Governor of Sindh, my Lord, Mr. Justice Muhammad Abdul Somro, Honorable Chief Justice of Sindh High Court, Dr. Muhammad Faroqh Naseem, Advocate General Singh, Mr. Abrar Hasan, Advocate, President, Pakistan Jurists Forum, Pakistan Economy of Jurists, my brother, learned judges of Honorable High Court, Mr. Justice C.R. Parvez, Honorable Judge of Supreme Court of Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. As collect as it may sound, my interest in law was kindled by Qazi, Taqreeb, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Reading books and watching documentaries on Mr. Jinnah as a leader, human being, and most importantly as a lawyer, made me dream of the day I would follow his footsteps as a lawyer. Growing up, I would spend hours locked up in my room, pleading in front of my imaginary mock court, relentlessly cross-examining witnesses and winning every single case. Unfortunately, life is not as simple as it was in my imagination. completion of my legal education and enrolling as an advocate and having my own personal chamber in early days of my practice in Gariyali building, Sadar, Karachi, I found the legal profession completely different from what I had envisaged. For starters, there was a lot more competition than I had ever imagined while growing up. The vicissitudes of life added new spice to my legal encounters. I have now been in the legal profession for more than 2 decades, and till this day, the legal profession is as interesting and challenging as it was when I had taken the initial start. Rendezvous with Law, a judge's reflection, is a compilation of 28 years of my hard work as a lawyer. I have managed to bring together a vast number of cases in which I have appeared or played a part in developing the law. The book starts off with my very first reported judgment in the case in which I appeared, that is Rais Ahmad versus Deputy Collector of Custom, reported in 1993 PLC Civil Service 813. And ends with the last case in which I caused appearance before being elevated to the bench, that is Ghulam Asghar Abbas versus Registrar Singh High Court, SPLR 2007, Supreme Court 85, and my Lord, Mr. Chief Justice, was the member of the bench. Hopefully, my hard work may be of assistance to those already in the legal profession, but most importantly, I hope it may come in handy for the young men and women who are thinking or have just entered the legal profession. I venture to think that there may not be a systematic revelation of topics as in a classical textbook in law. However, to a keen observer, the development of law in the annals of this book would be more than obvious. An independent judiciary is the foundation for building a successful country. Over the last few months, there has been a lot of discussion with regard to the change in the judiciary. However, I would like to state that only change has been the faces, not the integrity and independence. And we shall do whatever it takes to make sure that it remains that way. Once the great legend of India, Justice P.R. Krishna Iyer, had commented upon the plight of the litigants in India, I feel imperative to quote here the words of the great legend as he said, quote, "Poor litigants crying for judicial justice, while the men obsessed with the paper law thieves adjourn and prolongs are a lesson in compassion. To share and care is not verbal fare, but suffering endured together. Judicial reform is not mere technological tricks, not fast-track disposal of buckets, but the distress of victims and doing justice as best and as fast as one may. The heart and the head strive to do social justice, not to clear areas, but to wipe the sorrows from the people's bosom. My life as judge has no place here. The subject matter of the several books authored by me also are omitted. The audio of articles assembled in this ensemble has not been bunched together with an architectural blueprint in mind, but is a loose skein of writings, the common texture being the same, perspectives the same, maverick mind the same, acerbic expressions and ideas soft in acid the same, and the same commitment and concern for Indian humanity which is my brilliantly strong brotherhood, unquote. My life as a judge has just begun. The benchmark of the exalted standards of judicial behavior set by Mr. Justice Krishna Iyer and my Lord Mr. Justice Abdul Dogar may not be easily achievable. However, what I can promise is that while dispensing day-to-day justice, the ethos of Justice Krishna Iyer and Justice Abdul Dogar recorded in their judgments and in the above excerpt will not be forgotten. In the end, I must say that I am grateful to Mr. Abrar Hasan, Advocate, the Chairman of the Pakistan Academy for Jurists, for organizing today's book launch. I further take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Abdul Dogar, His Excellency, the Governor, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad, and the Chief Justice of the Sindh High Court, Mr. Justice Muhammad Afzal Somro, for gracing today's occasion and in particular writing the most kind words in the forewords to my book. I am indeed grateful to the ladies and gentlemen in this august audience for taking the time out from their busy schedules. May Allah bless you all and thanks again. Pakistan Zindabad.
Now I will request Professor Barrister Habib Rehman Sahib, the Federal Minister for Communication, to come on dais and say a few words about the academy and the book. You get rigorous, if not rigorous, not less than rigorous punishment for coming late. And that is also without notice and without invitation. I was a trespasser, entered on an information and hearsay that some legal epitome is being written, enacted by Justice Qazi, and therefore it is good if you are here to come. Having come, thirsty that what I am, throat dried before the judges, and then they asked me, and it's all doing of one gentleman called Abrar Hasan, who created mischief all the time, all the year, and perhaps this is about my Lord the Chief Justice, Mr. Excellency Governor, my Lord the Chief Justice of the Sindh High Court, Mr. Justice Qazi, my good friend Abrar, colleague in profession, and we were teaching together, my Lord the judges, young and old, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed surprisingly a great pleasure to be here after a very long time to address you something on the point of law which seems to be diminishing from day to day, and from the courtroom it is coming to the charaha and the road for the purposes of getting the rule of law. Well,
These tendencies have never been seen anywhere in the world, but unfortunately or fortunately in this part of the world, in our country. Where it would lead, I know not. But for the time being, I keep myself aloof from that trespass and adventure in pondering about that matter which has gone to its climax, and whatever goes to climax has got a deteriorating and marginal utility, and it has to come down. One is very certain, that I feel like a sheep ran away from the herds, and when I come back with my black coat again after a few days, it will be just as the sheep has come back to his own crowd, to his own faculty. And I'm longing to come back, but I must tell you, the experience in the federal government was tremendous, enchanting, a hard work which I didn't do in the 40 years of my legal service, which I did over here, and it's a different world beyond the fence. And I must admit, I think it is the doing of my most respected governor of Sindh, and he must have given my name there. Otherwise, I was not known by anyone in that arena. Qazi Sahib is known to me, and being a good lawyer, a good teacher, good writer. Above all, Abrar had been writing on and off. I have read his thesis. I being on the Rendezvous, not legally or otherwise, from Islamabad to here, I don't know what the book is, but my Lord the Chief Justice has contributed a lot towards the uplift of the judges in general, and so our young lawyers who are now the judges, and their contribution is not less. And if I have exhausted my time, I beg pardon and your leave. Thank you very much, lady.
Thank you very much, sir. I would invite His Excellency, the Honorable Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat-ul-Ebad on the dais, to say a few words.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mr. Justice Abdul Hameed Dogar, Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Pakistan. Mr. Justice Abdul, Chief Justice, High Court of Sindh. Justice Qazi Khalid. Mr. Abrar Hasan, Advocate, Chairman, Pakistan Academy of Jurists. Barrister Habib Rehman, Federal Minister for Communication. Honorable Judges of Supreme Court and High Court. Dr. Faroqh Naseem, Advocate General of Sindh. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I am thankful to Pakistan Academy of Jurists for inviting me to this august gathering and providing me an opportunity to share my views with the respected guests. One of the best gifts a person gives to humanity is to write a book. Unfortunately, book writing is negligible in our country, and due to this reason, book reading habit is also not promising. In my opinion, books written in the context of the social order and the current developments in our socio-political structure attract the interest of readers as they can connect their thoughts with the real life experience. Therefore, I am glad and I am thankful to Mr. Justice Khalid Qazi for taking pains in sharing judgments of cases for the benefit of the society, especially launching of the book at this time when independence of judiciary, its role placed within the state, is a hot topic. Therefore, this book will definitely help in clarifying various concepts relating to issues confronted and decided by our superior courts. Although my area of study has been medicine, yet law as a subject and also as a profession has always fascinated me, which has resulted in my interest in medical jurisprudence. Further, in my opinion, legal acumen is very necessary for government functionaries, as good governance means governance in accordance with law for the benefit of society and the common man. It is in this context that the book of like nature becomes very useful. A plain reading of the book also demonstrates law in action and how learned judges have striving to develop law, thereby widening the frontiers of knowledge through the process of sound reasoning, analysis and discussion. I congratulate Mr. Justice Khalid Qazi on writing such a compendium of judgments. I thank you all. Thank you, Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Honorable Governor Sahib. Now I would request the Honorable Chief Guest, my Lord, Mr. Justice Abdul Hameed Dogar, Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Pakistan, come on guys and take the बढ़िया सामने नहीं होना भाई, एक मिनट भाई साहब.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Excellency, Mr. Governor of Sindh, my Learned Judge, Justice Jurists, Chief Justice, Sindh High Court, Mr. Abrar, Chairman, Pakistan Academy of Jurists, Justice Qazi Khalid, Judge, High Court of Sindh, Learned Judge, High Court, Barrister, Habib, Minister of Communication, Government of Pakistan, Advocate General, Sindh, Law Secretary, the dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is a matter of great pleasure for me to be among us this August gathering on the occasion of launching of Justice Qazi Khalid's book titled Rendezvous with Law, a Judge's Reflections. Time constraint prevented me from going through the contents of the book thoroughly, and I could just scan through only few pages of the book. I would say that the book has a very wide spectrum. It contains judgments almost in every field of life, that is, the judgments on service matters, civil, criminal litigations, election disputes, and constitutional matters, commercial and taxation matters also. In fact, the book is a compilation of important cases conducted by a learned author as a lawyer and as a provincial law officer. Indeed, the collection of judgments provides a very interesting reading material to the judges, lawyers, litigants and students of law. A perusal judgments indeed would demonstrate the versatile experience and knowledge of learned author as a lawyer and particularly as a law officer. He provided proper assistance to the courts as professional lawyer in all the cases conducted by him, whether as a private counsel or as a government lawyer. I congratulate him on a successful, namely a treatise on relevance, admissibility and admissibility of evidence, fundamentals of social legislation and Sindh exercise manual. We in Pakistan are in dire need of inculcating reading and writing habits. This widens the mental horizon of individual concern and a better understanding of human life. I would like to mention here that recently learned author has been elevated as Judge of High Court of Sindh, which is ample acknowledgement and recognition of his dedicated service and contribution in the field of law. Having shifted to the other side of the rostrum, author has got a new and unique opportunity of serving the public in a different capacity. Judgeship requires a new name, a new approach, and a renounced commitment and dedication to the job, which is the most challenging and most demanding. A person who has chosen in his life to be a judge must be alive to the high demands and expectations interwoven with the inherent in the history, not a just affair, but an honest task which can be performed within hard work and a passion for the cause of justice. Let it be understood very clearly that it is a job which carries no pomp and show, but at the same time it is one of the most respectable professions. Individuals who are desirous of pomp and show better choose some other profession. A judge is a gentleman first and gentleman last. A judge is a composed, a tolerant and compassionate person. An honest judge enjoys a unique honor and dignity in the society. In turn, he has to sacrifice many things, such as his social life and his personal interests. I am sure Justice Qazi Khalid, following the excellent traditions set by the great judges of Superior Court of Pakistan, and through his hard work, commitment and dedication, will prove to be a good judge. The book brings to the efforts of author that he put into the period of practice as a president. The judgment contained in the book show in-depth research and hard work of the author. Now legal practice has an opportunity to be benefited from it. I would like to place on record my deep appreciations for the very good contribution of the author for producing a book of such work and cause of justice. Before I conclude, may I just take this opportunity to briefly touch upon a so but contemporary subject, that is the judiciary of this country. There are no options that in any civilized country the judiciary is to be independent and has to be function without fear and favor. The hallmark of any democratic process lies in the continuity of legal order. All stakeholders must keep the interest of country supreme, independent of personal interest, which should not hamper the larger public interest. Since its inception, the constitution and judicial history of Pakistan has been checked. It is now in our own hands to either check further development or continuity of the legal order. The judiciary is independent and is making every effort to promote the democratic norms and traditions. I have great faith in Almighty Allah, and I am also happy to order that my learned brothers are in unity and ununited with me in this respect. Lastly, I would also extend my gratitude to the organizers, the Pakistan Academy of Jurists and its chairman, Abrar, for organizing today's function. Thank you very much. At the end, I will also say that Justice Qazi generally appeared before me, and I always found him very prepared fully in every respect, fully equipped with notes, and I also remember that there are some of the judgments which are reported and are very important. Thank you very much.
Mr. Khalid Qazi, author of the book, will now present the books first to the Honorable Chief Justice,
तो सही वो मिल जाएगा जान नहीं रही
and interview to Jurists High Court of Sindh. I would request Barrister Khalid, Barrister Abdul and Minister for Communication to please come on the dais. Mr. Khalid, to give the book to you. हाथ लगा जिसके लिए फ्री आपके लिए
चलो प्रोग्राम
इसके साथ ही आज प्रोग्राम Chief Justice and the Governor. आप